Good afternoon, everybody. I'm so glad you could join us today for the St. Louis Arc Family Support Q&A. And we have one of our favorite guests today, the folks from the St. Louis County Library. So I'm not going to talk for a long time because they have so much cool information to share with you. So Katie and Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us today. I'll turn it over to you for introductions and to get the slideshow rolling.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Sharon. And we're glad to join everyone today to share more about just some things to know about St. Louis County Library. As we get started, just introduce myself. My name is Rebecca Clark, and I'm the manager of adult services at St. Louis County Library. And my colleague, Katie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yep, my name's Katie Lappy, and I am the lead library social worker. I work for Epworth, but we're contracted with the library.
Perfect. So we'll go ahead and get started here. Firstly, when I say get started, that just the mission is our start for everything. So I wanted to go ahead and share a little bit about that. And the abbreviated version of our mission is enriching minds, enhancing lives, and expanding perspectives. So everything that the library tries to accomplish is rooted in this mission and related to the values of community, literacy, impact, access. All these are very important to us as an institution. So we'll go ahead and move forward with a number of slides that Katie has related to our services.
So first, I'll be talking about the service that my team provides directly. So again, like I mentioned, there's a team of 5 of us. We are working for Epworth Children and Family Services, but we're full-time at all St. Louis County libraries. So we are stationed at 5 branches, which are listed here on the flyer, and we can send out afterwards. But we will go to any of the 20 St. Louis County libraries. We also offer meetings virtually or over the phone if that's better for you. We're happy to meet that way as well. Services are available to truly anyone. There is no requirement to access our services. You don't even need a library card. You don't even have to live in St. Louis County. Absolutely no requirements. If you have a question or a need that you think we might be able to help with, we will try to do that. I kind of see of us as like a specialized reference where we're really well-versed on community resources and connecting people to that. So that's what we do. We don't provide counseling. We will connect you to counseling or therapy if that's something that you need. We also aren't case managers because we just don't have the capacity. So we don't stay with someone for a long term, but our goal is to connect you to someone that can do that, an agency that can do that if that's something you need. That being said, we may meet with you several times because it can be a process to get connected to what you need, of course. So examples of certain things we help with. Again, like I said, we don't really think there's a wrong question. We'll do our best, but common things that we are helping individuals with include accessing affordable housing or utility assistance. I know there was a specific question about assistance with rent or security deposits. We don't have that in-house. We don't offer that directly. We will connect people to it if it exists. That ebbs and flows in the community. We've had admittedly a hard time finding rental assistance recently, but that changes all the time. A new grant will come up. It also can depend very much on specifics of an individual's situation. For example, if you're a veteran, you may qualify for veteran specific assistance, things like that. So, if it's there, we will try and help you get to it. So that is an example. We do employment assistance, help with getting IDs, birth certificate, that sort of thing. Applying for public benefits is a big one. Connection to health insurance and healthcare, things like that. So those are some of the things we're dealing with. And then to access us, you are able to come walk in. So our hours are listed on this flyer. From 9 to 7, Monday through Thursday is our typical schedule. We also offer Saturday hours. We have one social worker on most Saturdays for abbreviated hours from 10 to 2. But while we do take walk-ins, I do highly encourage scheduling an appointment ahead of time, because we don't want someone to come in and then we're already scheduled for the full day, or maybe already at another branch because we were called to meet a need at a different branch, and then you aren't able to be seen. So I included a link here. You can request to book a social worker online. You can call the library's main line. I also have my contact information at the end, which is a great way to reach out to. So another partnership the library has is with BJC, Community Wellness Hub. They offer two main things. One is the wellness classes. These are offered specifically at Parkview, Lewis and Clark, and Natural Bridge, but open to everyone in the community. Those classes focus on how to incorporate self-care into your daily plans and explore tips to set up your body and mind for success. They offer them in person at the branches, but also some of them are virtual specific. Some examples of upcoming classes include yoga for stress relief, heart health, mind matters, and tips for healthy eating. And usually at the end of those classes, you get a little gift that goes with the topic that will help you with doing those things. So it's really cool. Wrapped into the BJC Community Wellness Hub, they have what they call a resource and education specialist. Really does the same thing that the social work team does. The person who's filling that role is Sonia Clay, and we work closely with her. She fills in on some of the gaps when we're not there. So she's at Natural Bridge on Fridays, for example, when our team isn't working, and we'll collaborate with her if we have someone who has a need and we can't be there that day, but very well versed on resources in the community, and will help you get connected to those too. She has open office hours at the following branches that I listed that also have the classes: Parkview, Lewis and Clark, and Natural Bridge, and encourages walk-ins as well. So the Corey Bush Neighborhood Service Center. Corey Bush has staff members at Lewis and Clark, Rock Road, and Natural Bridge twice a week, every week. They take walk-ins, and appointments not required, and you can go see them if you're struggling with a passport issue, if you have questions about immigration, veteran resources, Social Security inquiries, grant information, all of these things. You can go talk to them and see if they have any way to guide you or help you with those particular types of needs. Meals for Kids. Another partnership that the library has, many partnerships, great partnerships. Operation Food Search works with us on this, and they offer free after-school meals for any child age 5 to 18 at the branches listed here: Florissant, Prairie Commons, Lewis and Clark, Weber Road, and Natural Bridge. Currently, the meals are offered at after-school hours from 3:30 to 4:30. That's going to change soon when the school year ends, and it will shift to summer lunches. So that'll be from 12 to 1. And on Fridays, it's pizza specifically, which is a big hit. And during the meal times, there's always like an activity in the room that they do it in that is geared towards the kids. So that is a wonderful service that is well attended. We also, you may not know this, we have diapers and flow kits. This is in partnership with the St. Louis Area Diaper Bank. So at the branches listed below on this flyer, any individual can come in and request up to 1 pack a month of diapers for their child. The children can be 3 and under that are receiving the diapers. That being said, we recently had a request for adult diapers from a patron who is looking for services for the social work team, and we reached out to the area diaper bank, and they were able to provide those for us. So we can get those sometimes too. That's just based on the availability they have, but it seemed like they were very happy to share that with us too. So diapers, 1 pack a month. All you have to do is go to the front desk, say you're here to get diapers. They'll ask for the name and your zip code, and that's all there is to it. For flow kits, those are also available at those same branches. These are either packs completely of tampons or pads or a combination, whatever your preference is. Any person who is in need of period items, period hygiene, can have those. There's no questions asked. In all of these cases too, you do not need a library card to use this resource. And you just give them a zip code in this. You don't have to give your name. There's really no limit on those either. And one asterisk is that the Bookmobile also provides flow kits in addition to these branches. Additional things we have for free include Narcan. So if you come to this is at all of the library branches, if you go to the front desk and say you would like a Narcan kit, you will receive a bag that includes your Narcan in here. And this is safety for anyone who's experiencing an opioid overdose. So again, no questions asked. That's provided in partnership with the St. Louis County Health Department. We also have hygiene and wound care kits. So that will have, the hygiene kits have just some basics like deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste, soap, those things. For anyone who needs it, they can go to the front desk and ask for it. Or sometimes if someone just shares that they have those needs with a staff member, they'll just bring them to them if they want that. Also, the wound care kits is just a real basic. It's got some safety gloves, Band-Aids, and some cleaning wipes as well. Then we have the gun locks. So this is in partnership with the Women's Voices Race for Social Justice, and they call it the Lock It for Love program. So you just need to ask for a gun lock and you'll be provided with one of these, as well as a guide how to use it safely, and the purpose of it. So those are all free to anyone. And then we also have a partnership with CASEL, that's Community Action Agency of St. Louis County. They have staff that come to the listed branches below to provide assistance with applying for utility help. So that is specifically for St. Louis County residents because they are the ones who have been assigned to oversee LIHEAP assistance is what it's called. And so if we have someone who comes in who needs assistance with utilities that does not live in St. Louis County, the social worker can still help get them connected to that, but CASEL specifically will be the county residents, and they can help with gas, electric bills, and sometimes there's also funding for water bills too, if that's needed. Eligibility is definitely a factor, so not everyone will necessarily qualify, but they'll able to quickly answer whether you do or not usually. And of course, assistance isn't guaranteed even if you do qualify, but they're able to kind of tell you what their funding is at that time typically too. So that is a walk-in appointment not required. But I do recommend coming on the earlier half of that because certain days it can be well attended.
I'm going to jump in, Rebecca. We've got such an engaged audience, some really great comments and questions for Katie. Is it okay if I ask those first and then we'll move forward?
Yeah, feel free.
All right. First of all, kudos to you guys. There's thank yous for adding adult diapers to your resources, comments about how discreet the Narcan bags are and that's a nice thing for people to be able to have. We do have a question about the Narcan kits. They said that typically people might need 2 doses. Are there 2 doses in the kit or is it possible to get 2 kits?
Yeah, so there is actually 2 units per box.
Fantastic.
And there's also a guide in here with some information about like safe use and it's pretty helpful. And the social workers have all been trained. The library staff have actually also received training on kind of the basics. So we're happy to sort of talk through someone if they have questions about that too.
Excellent. One question was about whether or not you have any specific resources for offenders that are transitioning from jail or prison.
Yes, there are. The library itself has quite a lot for reentry, and I know Rebecca has some of that planned.
Okay.
The social work team will absolutely help someone who qualifies as reentry and get them connected to the resources we have.
Great.
There's,
And I
like
do
I
want to
said, there's
mention,
no barrier to seeing us, so.
And Sharon, I do want to mention that the library now has a justice services specialist on our team. Her name is Miranda Gibson. She's actually on my team in adult services, and that's her primary focus, is providing services for people that are trying to avoid incarceration, those who are currently incarcerated, and those who are returning from incarceration. And
is
when I
there
say,
nothing
like,
you don't do? It's amazing.
Really,
yeah, and one thing I guess we forgot to add to this presentation, Katie, is the Tappan Center. The
Oh,
Tappan
right.
Center is a great resource to help
Yes.
folks avoid going to prison, because she can help folks with active warrants to get those recalled.
And what center is that?
That is the Tappan Center.
Tappan
And the
Center.
Tappan Center is open every Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. at our Florissant Valley branch. Miranda is there every Tuesday. She can assist people in person if they want to come to the library in person, or over the phone. You can call the Tappan Center's phone number and get assistance that way.
Yeah,
Cool.
they're very responsive.
Excellent. We also just did a Q&A with Options for Justice. So if the person who is in danger of incarceration or coming out of the prison system is a person with disabilities, Options for Justice has a wide range of services. So we'll link you to those resources as well. And then there's a question I had and a question from the audience that kind of overlap. And I'm curious how you chose the branches to have social work. How busy are the locations right now? What does that look like?
So the decision, I think, was made. I think the library chose ultimately, like, before we were ever onboarded, where those branches were going to be, and it's based on the need they were seeing in the community. That's looking at a variety of things, but incident reports was one, but also just demographics and you know what they were hearing from staff that people were coming in having need with, that, you know, the library staff have all of their jobs they already have to do and weren't equipped to be able to respond and, you know, fully to the need that was coming in at those locations. So
Are you guys pretty busy?
yes. Yes, we have not been bored, that's for sure.
Wonderful.
The demand is great, but I would say I still feel good about our response time. If we get a request for services, you know, we do triage. So like most critical needs are going to rise to the top regardless of the order they came in, and responding to crisis is what we have to do first. But most of the time, we're able to do it in the order they come in and reach out to folks within like 3 days of them putting in a request to schedule an appointment. And usually we can schedule an appointment either that same week or the following. So I would say, you know, we're not so overwhelmed that it's a super long wait typically.
That's fantastic. And you did say you're adding a sixth person, which is going to be really great.
Yes.
So you'll keep
Yes.
ahead of the need.
They should start this summer is the goal. So
Fantastic.
yes.
All right, without further ado, Rebecca, the Library of Things is my favorite thing. So I'm going to turn it over to you.
Sure. So throughout this presentation, I'm sure you're thinking, well, the library is so much more than books, and we sure are. So this is just some of the list of from our Library of Things, our collection of materials that don't necessarily fit into like books and CDs, DVDs and such. So on this list, you'll see like telescopes. You could check out a $300 telescope from the library. Binoculars. I'm going to check out a pair of binoculars to go on a cruise that departs on Saturday. So that's saving me about $200 there. Puzzles, jigsaw puzzles. So we have puzzles that are for kids, mostly for adults though. And they range from all kinds of different types, sizes, and just a great collection of puzzles at all of our locations. You'll see here, we just added graphing calculators to our collection. That's our newest addition. And then thinking about summer, thinking about like being outside more, you may be interested in fishing equipment, portable projectors to watch something outside with your family and friends. You can play disc golf, or let's say you want to try pickleball. You've heard so much about pickleball, but you don't necessarily want to buy anything for pickleball yet. You can test it out at the library. And fort building kits, that is something you can check out. That's probably really good for winter. If you need something for kiddos to do at home, then that's a great something to check out. And I'll also mention blood pressure kits. So we partnered with the Heart Association to get these in our collection. In fact, I told my doctor the last time I was there about these. And so they're going to tell their patients all about these blood pressure kits. So you don't have to buy a monitor yourself. You can check out one from the library. And these are just some of the things that are available. I love it all. Love it all. And think about tabletop games. Those are expensive. And also it takes so much space in your house. So the idea that you can check out something, play it a few times and return it, great. So the full list of these items are from the URL listed at the bottom of this slide. All right, so I mentioned that the library is all about literacy and lifelong learning, and these are just some of the resources related to that. For instance, during COVID, I know so many more people were reading books online, listening to books online, maybe from their phone. And great resources for that are going to be Libby, Hoopla, and Canopy is a great resource for videos, movies, full-length films that you can watch for free. And these are just great resources. I love Hoopla, for instance. If you're a big fan of graphic novels, great collection of graphic novels. If you love jazz music, our best collection of jazz music is actually on Hoopla. So those are just some examples of the wealth of opportunity there. And then some more examples for online learning. If you want to learn, let's say you want to learn sewing or crochet, any of these crafting hobbies that you want to know more about, or maybe you want to know how to make a specific thing like embroidery, you can actually use resources like Creative Bug and Craft and Hobby to do just that. And these are going to include workshops that you can watch, daily practices that you can participate in to continue learning, and they're taught by professionals in that industry. One thing I love about Craft and Hobby, that one actually includes, I think, woodworking too. Some other resources, LinkedIn Learning here. Let's say you want to learn some more like workplace-based skills. LinkedIn Learning is a great place for that. Udemy also includes a lot of that information and a lot of the same like online workshops and learning opportunities. Udemy is something that you can purchase separately. Like if you didn't have a library card, you could purchase, same thing with LinkedIn Learning, but they're not cheap. So the idea that you can use your library card to use these resources for free is amazing. Something fairly new that we now have in our collection is Skill Mill. So that is a resource if you're wanting to learn a trade like HVAC or I know the solar industry is expanding. There's even some modules about that. If you want, I think they're going to eventually add car mechanics, like fixing your car. Anything like if maybe plumbing, you want to fix your own sink or replace your own faucet. And you don't necessarily want to go into the trade, but maybe you want to learn more about it so you don't have to pay someone $100. That's a big money saver. So Skill Mill is a great resource for that. And when I say something about like going into the trades, I know someone that has gone through the HVAC lessons and has actually passed the test and is now certified from using Skill Mill. So, and that's also another big money saver. And then, hey, if you just want to learn a language, we have a couple resources there that you can do just that. Mango Languages and Transparent Language. If you're interested in learning sign language, Transparent Language has that. Both are really good resources if you're wanting to travel or maybe connect with a loved one that speaks English as a second language, this is a great opportunity to do that. All right, so when we think of summer, we're always thinking of our summer reading programs. And this summer we have a new one that's sort of in partnership with St. Louis Public Library. We've combined for the babies and kids and teens. Now they're all under the umbrella of STL Summer Adventure. So you can earn badges in activities related to STEM, art, the outdoors, St. Louis, and of course, still reading. And then you have an opportunity to win raffle prizes. And as you participate, you win prizes automatically too. For instance, just for registration, you get a free book. And then at completion, you get other special prizes. So just, I hope that you're gonna register this year. This is a new program and we very much hope that you enjoy it. We're partnering with a number of other local organizations for this program. For instance, we're gonna host a big event in Forest Park on June 1st to sort of launch this adventure. And then a few other, let's see, we'll be at the Magic House a few days during the summer, and I think at the Botanical Garden too. So yeah, take a look at the website there. It's stlsummeradventure.org to learn more. We have not forgotten about the adults though. The adults are not part of the STL Summer Adventure, but we have our own summer reading club. And it works much the same as it has in years past, where 1 minute or 1 page is 1 point, and then at 1,000 points is completion. You can even earn points for attending library events, and those are fun anyway. So upon registration, you get a free book. Everyone gets a free book. At halfway, you're entered into a raffle to win Cardinals tickets. And so if you're chosen, you're given like a voucher for 2 Cardinals tickets. And that completion prize this year, it's a tote bag. And what I love about this, it zips. Who doesn't love a zipping tote bag? So we're so thrilled about that. And we hope that a lot of our adults in our community participate in the Adult Summer Reading Club. And if you can even go beyond completion, if you go to 1,500 points, then you are entered into a raffle to win great prizes like a $250 Amazon gift card or $100 Target gift card, or a good number of those Schnucks gift cards. So yeah, hope you can participate. We love this program so much. And speaking of programs we love so much, we as a library staff love to offer programs specifically for individuals sort of that have maybe different abilities, and we want to provide that space for them to enjoy all the library has to offer. So you'll see Prairie Commons offers a very good amount of programs. In fact, I think almost every Wednesday you can count on something happening at Prairie Commons. And I remember speaking with the manager maybe earlier this week, and he said, like, this population is very dear to us. So they so appreciate folks that come in maybe from like adult daycare centers nearby and such. At Bridgeton Trails, you can attend a sensory story time. Same thing with Eureka Hills. Florissant Valley has not quite a sensory story time, but it's more of a play opportunity. So the big room downstairs is opened up with a lot of different manipulatives and play activities. And then there's also bingo at Rock Road. But you can also find all these events at slcl.org/events. Now, I know that this question was going to come up, so we quickly added a slide about our new Clark Family Branch. So this is going to be our largest branch location of the entire system, and it's opening on July 9th. This branch will have a number of outstanding features, including a big history and genealogy center, a small business center, a beautiful kids area, a small walking trail, an event space that can fit a lot of our author events. I think maybe like 800 people can sit in this event space. We're really thrilled about that. And the branch itself does open July 9th, but the event space opens July 1st. So we'll start having author events. And did I say July 1st? I meant June 1st. So we're thrilled about this branch. We're in the process of finishing up construction, and then it's going to be a long process to move everything in because we got a lot of books in there for you. So that's our presentation. We're so glad to share all this with you. The library, we do great work every day. And yeah, I'm thrilled to be part of this team. So thank you.
Well, we are so thrilled to have you here. And honestly, you're so generous with your time with us. I think you can really tell how genuinely excited you are by all the opportunities that are available through the library. We have a couple questions, so if you'll hang with us for a couple minutes longer. First, kudos from somebody on the call that just says the adult training in person and online are wonderful. Thanks for the opportunity, for the variety of learning that you provide to everybody. I wanted to clarify, the last time we met, a lot of the digital learning opportunities were specific to having a county library card. Is that still the case? Like, I'm in the city, but I have a partner card, but I couldn't use Canopy in the past. Is that still the way it is?
A lot of the online resources are connected to your St. Louis County Library
Okay.
card. Although if I'm trying to think, there are some resources where you have to have a very specific card type too. For instance, like, unfortunately, St. Louis is the way it is. And if you live in Kirkwood, you're considered like a reciprocal card holder. And some resources like Hoopla and Canopy would not be available, even though you are a card holder for St. Louis County Library. So there are some exceptions.
Okay, fantastic. Another question about how is the library's access to Udemy different than general access where I have to pay per class?
So the general access, we're not going to have every video in Udemy's collection. We're going to have a good amount of them, and they're all free. So I think if you pay as an individual, there may be different levels of access that you're paying for, and we're paying for a certain level. So I think you'll be able to find some related videos for a topic that you're interested in, hopefully. But just know that there may be some that you may not have access to.
Great. And Katie, there's a final question that I think is for you, and I may follow up on it. Do you make referrals to the Department of Mental Health? So I'm going to broaden that and just say, if a person comes in with an intellectual or developmental disability, needs supports, do you help connect them to places like the Department of Mental Health that could get them connected to the system, connect them to funding and so forth?
Definitely. That's a big part of what we do. And it totally really depends on how much support someone wants. So it may just be, this is the number you call to get the DMH application if that's what they want, but we will offer to also help them complete that application when it comes, if that's something they need, and same for, yeah, really any benefit they're trying to access.
Wonderful. And I'm going to remind our families that we also offer that through our family navigation services. So if you ever need any kind of assistance, you can call our main line at 314-569-2211, and we can also help you make those connections to partner organizations. I just keep thinking about that family that lives near Natural Bridge that can walk in and have a one-stop where they get some pizza and they get some diaper supplies and some flow supplies and pick up books and puzzles and fishing equipment and head out the door ready for the week. So what a cool opportunity for people to be able to get all their needs met in one place.
Absolutely.
I could sit and talk about other things about how the library got involved in so many things, but we just don't ever have the time for that. So I just appreciate that we've been able to share so many resources with people today. Thank you both for joining me. And you all, please take some of this information and make a commitment to yourself. What can you do to better utilize your library services to help meet your personal goals? I think there's bound to be something that will help you match up with something. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.